Hi, this is Melanie Dawn, and this is Dawn of Wisdom. Out on my walk today, a little later than normal because I went dress shopping with my daughter, which is, I have to be aware of some of my weaknesses. Trying on dresses for my son's wedding I find it a little bit challenging, and I just have such body shaming issues that I'm working on, and my daughter pointed out today that I need to stop it. And so it's something I'm working on. I've had it my whole life since I was probably a very little girl. I've had eating disorders. I've suffered from anorexia. I have always been mean and judgmental of my own body. And at times I can overcome it. I can just be who I am and not worry about it. But when it comes to trying on dresses and wanting to be very cute for my son's wedding, it all comes roaring back. So that is something that I am going to work on. I needed someone to tell me and bring it to my attention. And now it is something that I'm choosing to work on. Yeah, it's great. But what I got on here for today was to talk about Oprah Winfrey's new book. I listened to an interview. She wrote a book, is What Happened to You. It's called What Happened to You. It's with, I believe, it's Dr. Perry. I believe it's Dr. Bruce Perry, who is a neuroscientist. I hope I'm right on that. They wrote it together. And the feeling behind the book, the meaning behind the book is instead of saying what's wrong with you and judging someone else, we need to ask what happened to you. And it's because we all have trauma. We all have something in our childhood that brings us into our adulthood, that is who we are in a lot of ways, is through what happened to us as a child. We carry it into adulthood. And the interesting thing is I just recently had a talk with my grandson about judgment. And one of the things I told him is when you judge someone, you assume you know them, you know their life, and you know what they've been through. And what I say to myself, I'm very judgy, believe me, I'm not putting myself on a pedestal, but what I do is I say, I don't know their story. And I taught that to my grandson last week, and he liked it, and I think he'll think about it. So I think what this book is about, through the interview, is how we need to understand that everyone has trauma, has had trauma as a child. I mean, it could be from a baby not getting the attention you need, whatever it is. Instead of saying, when someone's acting out, being irresponsible, being crazy, instead of saying, what is wrong with you? We need to say, what happened to you? And we need to listen to what happened to them. Allow them to feel and to think about what brought them to this place. I really am a strong believer in this. It's a practice that I practice. I have no business thinking I know someone else. I don't. My closest friend, I don't know. I can't get into her head. I have no reason to judge her or anybody else because I don't know their story and I don't know what happened to them. I think if we look at people differently with more of a awareness, and this is a practice. You must be aware of the. You must be aware of this within yourself. When I am triggered or something hurts me, I take action. I go for a walk. I do something that's going to calm me and relax me so that I can ask myself where it came from. And if you've listened to my past podcast, you know that asking why I feel a certain way, why I'm upset about something, because it's what happened to me, which gives me that perception. It gives me the judgment. I'm thinking I know somebody else the way they're thinking, only by my own trauma. So when we start asking someone what happened to you, and I don't think we always need to ask it out loud. I don't think a lot of people would understand that. But to yourself, asking yourself, looking at them, what happened to you? Something brings people to anger, jealousy, shame, whatever it is. It comes from somewhere, you guys. It comes from somewhere. What we do is we forget to take a deep breath, calm ourselves, and ask, what happened to them? Why am I reacting? I think you get so much self-reflection why you weren't reacting a certain way. I think it's very important that we see people as a collective, that we start to see people as the individual, beautiful souls that they are, that we just allow them to be in their own pain. Their pain does not have to be our pain. I can't stress that enough. We have to be able to let people be. When my shit comes up, I take action, and that's my wisdom for today. When your stuff comes up, don't ignore it. Begin to explore it. You'll answer so much of your own questions. You'll answer what is going on, what brought this up for me. It allows you to go deep within your own trauma. It always does. It will. Trust me on this. So I'm excited to read Oprah's new book. I'll probably get it on audio. That's the way I do my best. And think about that. When someone is acting bad in front of me, if I just stop and say what happened to them, and the book is called What Happened to You? What happened to bring it up? We've got to stop judging people by what happened to us. And we need to start asking them, what happened to you? Instead of what is wrong with you. It helps us self-reflection. It helps us to stop judging. I love it. My favorite thing, I have to say it's my favorite thing lately in my life that I've been working on strongly. I know you hear the traffic going by. It's because I'm walking along the coast here. When I look at someone and I begin to judge them, I say to myself, I do not know their story. I don't know what happened to them. And we need to look at people in a different light. We need to understand that they've had trauma just as we've had trauma. We tend to get so caught up in our own self that we forget that other people have it too. Other people have trauma too. When we get out of ourselves and recognize others, it changes our life, I think. I hope this all made sense. I hope you all go read the book and listen to it and let me know what you think. I'm excited about it. It's out on audio. But the interview is really good. And that was on, I believe, Rob Lowe's show, literally. And it was Oprah and Bruce Perry, the doctor. And he asked some deep questions. And yeah, So a lot of self-reflection, guys. Be prepared. They say it's a heavy book, and that sometimes you have to read a little or listen to a little and shut it off and really kind of see what you get out of it. And it goes deep, and I like that. I like to go deep with anybody that's willing. So instead of what's wrong with you, what about what's happened to you? I love that. I love it so much. It allows us to go inward and look at ourselves just as much as we ask them to look at themselves. I think not that we could change anybody, not that we can make anybody change, but by saying that helps us to kind of get off the back a little bit. And because everybody's got some shit that they're working through, right? Y'all know it. The scary part is being aware of it. Yeah, you got to be aware of it. And that's a whole different subject. Awareness, number one. And then take action. You know, when I feel bad about myself, I live in constant pain, and when I feel bad about myself, I go out on a long walk and I reflect. When my daughter said that to me today, we'll go back to that, I had to go on my walk. Even though it was after lunchtime, so I needed to go on that walk. And I need to reflect because it's true. It's true. And I'm very honest about my insecurities. But I didn't realize how much I was showing it to her. And I needed her to tell me that. And I feel like it was almost like, you know, Mom, you gotta flip that. She's absolutely right. I need to flip it. I believe she was asking me, Mom, what happened? And I am willing to say, I'm going to find out. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to change this part of me that has hung around for years. To this very day, I have had a poor relationship with my body. And I am now, I'm going to pay attention to it. It does have to change. It does have to change. And only I can do that. So, anyways, you guys, I know I've talked a lot today. That's because I feel it's so important to say. I guess we could call this podcast about judgment and ways to get out of it, to find a practice to end it. I think that's what's wrong with the world. Everybody judges, everybody gets so uptight and judges everybody else. They're right, you're wrong. When we get to a place where we can look at people without that harsh judgment, I think that's what's going to bring the world peace. That's the way I believe. I'm wacky-tacky, but that's the way I believe. All right. Nurse Mellow on Instagram and Facebook, and nurse.mellow on yahoo.com.